Way. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you. I can kind of see you. The lights are bright. Okay, we got a lot of friendly faces. I'm just curious here. Put up your hand if you're my student. Oh, 很多. Good. All right. 快要上课. Yeah, well, you know who I am. I'm Wu Shanfeng. I'm Jason Grenier. Sometimes I'm Mr. Green. I'm Mr. Green again today because I'm going to sing some songs. And I don't mind telling you, it's the first time I've been on a stage to sing songs in a long time. I've taken a step back from this, a long break from this. So I'm coming out today to sing some songs for you. Because it's a special occasion. And as you know, the reason you're all here is we have a very special guest with us today. He has come a long way to be here with us this afternoon. We're very honored and happy to have him with us. He come all the way from New Zealand. Is that Australia, sorry, far away, places I've never been. It's Mr. Scott Cook. He's sitting right over here, and Scott later is going to get up and share his magic with us. That's the reason we're all here today. And that's the reason I'm coming out of retirement, just because when Scott comes around, it's worth dusting off the old six string here and learning a few of my songs again, relearning them. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Happy to see all you here on this beautiful afternoon. I'm glad the weather's nice today. And I guess without any further ado, we'll get into it. The plan is I'm going to get up and warm up here. I'm going to play a few of my songs, some old songs. I told you, it's been a long time since I've done this, so I don't mind telling you, I'm nervous. I'm nervous right now. Singing songs and playing guitar is a different thing for me than teaching a class. Way different feeling, you know? So I've tried to set myself up to make it as easy as possible for myself. For example, I'm going to sit down instead of standing up, because for me that's easier. Because if I'm playing at home, I'm going to sit down. Easy songs. A lot of them are old songs, and they're easy ones that hopefully will be easy for me to get through. Nothing too complicated, nothing too risky here. So anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I'm going to start singing here and stop talking, and I hope you enjoy the afternoon's music. And we've got a lot of gifts to give away this afternoon, as I told you before. We've got CDs to give away this afternoon. We've got posters to give away. We've got some nice T-shirts to give away this afternoon. And we're going to have a Q&A time. When we're done with the musical portion, we're going to pull out some nice chairs here, and Scott and I are going to sit down, and it's your opportunity to ask this man a question if you want to know what it's like to be Scott Cook. This is the day you'll find out. So think of a question. You want to ask Scott a question, he'll be happy to entertain your questions at the end of the music. So for now, just please sit back, enjoy the aircon and the comfortable chairs, and sing you some songs, all right? All right, so I'm going to start out. I'm already deviating from the set list. I'm already not following it. That didn't take long. I think I'm going to play a song called Big Wave, and it's a minor key thing, and I wrote it a long time ago, and it's about the tsunami that happened in 2002, if you can believe that. It was a big tsunami, 海啸有发生到, and really bad, but it's also about where I was in my life when I was 30, and it's about I guess the message, the takeaway is if you got somebody that wants to love you, you should give them a chance to do that, because it might just work out for the both of you. It took him 30 years to realize how much love is worth. Glitters like gold and shines like a diamond, brought up from the middle of the earth. A woman offered it to him with outstretched arms. He pushed it away, yeah. Too blind to see it was the one thing to put some meaning in his days. Love is an open window. Love grown cold is a shuttered door. Love is an open window. Love grown cold is a shuttered door. What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? Oh. When the time felt right, he left her crying in the rain without a look behind. He went off to be bad in Thailand, and she seldom crossed his mind. Until he heard her voice calling out to him as he walked the beach one day. Yeah, yeah. She was telling him to run just as the big wave came, took everything away. Love is an open window. Love grown cold is a shuttered door. Love is an open window. Love grown cold is a shuttered door. Yeah. What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? What's the matter? How come you ain't running? Can't you see the big wave coming? Oh. Yeah, it's called Big Wave. Woo! All right. All right, this is a song I was going to play first. I guess I'll play it second today because it's called "See Me Again," and it's what's it about? It doesn't really matter, I suppose. It's about letting somebody walk away and not knowing if they're going to come back, and it's something that we might come face to face with sometimes. But it's also just about seeing people again from a stage. I guess for me, it's been a while, like I said. I hope you'll always want to see me again. Hope that no one ever takes my place. Hope with that smile I love on your face. As we free ourselves from the ties that bind us, let's never use the rope to hang ourselves. The new style will always burn the price, but no one else could ever love you like I do. And I don't know what to do about this thing with me. I don't know what I can say to make you see things my way. I don't know what's gonna happen if I let you walk away. Yeah. I hope you'll always wanna see me again. Hope that no one ever takes my place. Hope you'll always be safe and warm with that smile I love on your face. And if you catch yourself wishing you were different, more like someone you think would be good for me, please know I picked you for a reason. It's you I want, not someone I want you to try to be. Oh. And I don't know what to do about this thing with me and you. I don't know what I can say to make you see things my way. How do I know you'll come back to me if I let you walk away? Yeah. I hope you'll always want to see me again. I hope that no one ever takes my place. Hope you'll always be safe and warm with that smile I love on your face. Hope you'll always want to see me again. Hope that no one ever takes my place. Hope you'll always be safe and warm with that smile I love on your face. Thank you. That's called See Me Again. Wasn't sure if you'd ever see me again outside class. You have to see me there, but up on a stage like this. Did I mention we got Scott Cook with us here this afternoon? We excited for Scott Cook. Let's give Scott a hand already here. He hasn't started, but I can't wait. I can barely concentrate on my songs because I want to hear his songs. I got these songs over here, but these are the ones that I'm really here for. So. Here's a song called Midway to Nowhere, and it's about a dream I had when my daughter was young. I dreamt I was a cowboy. You ever dream you were a cowboy, a cowgirl, a cow person? No, it's a trip. All those Marlboros and Winstons, they've been smoked down to filters. To the shade neath the bleachers, they've been swept away. Crushed flat now awaiting slow disintegration. Midway to nowhere, where it's always the same. Colored lights on the rides, concession stands turned out. My carnies all burned out on coke, smack and weed. Vampires crashed in their trailers, blinds drawn against the daylight. Midway to nowhere, you can make up your name. nobody else but the Lord could get away with that round here. It's all shit kickers and trucker hats and gun racks and Stetsons. Midway to nowhere, will the righteous be saved? Clad in bright shining armor, not some washed up old cowboy in a ship rodeo. I'd lift you up in the saddle, we'd ride off into the sunset. From midway to nowhere, I'd carry you home. From midway to nowhere, I'd carry you home. From midway to nowhere, I'd carry you home. Thank you. Thank you. So I guess I'll give that one, dedicate that one to my daughter. She's not here today. She's at school. And while I'm thinking about people who are not here on stage with me right now, there's a couple of people I also want to give a shout out to. I want to give a shout out to Steve George. My dear friend, Steve, I know he's probably on a train right now. He's coming to Hualien tonight. He's on his way, he's en route, and he told me he's live streaming this thing. So big shout out to Steve. We love you to bits, brother. Can't wait to see that face of yours tonight. So definitely shout out for Steve. And shout out to my students at Saga University in Japan. Konnichiwa. Yeah. Ozumo, sugoi desu. It's the sumo. Yeah, anyways, Saga University students, glad you're tuning in on the live stream here. Wish you could be here in person, but I know you're out there. Let's take a look at the list here. Okay, we're going to do this one. A song called The Chosen One. The plane went down in the Colorado rain. Such a singular's life, and his life would never be the same. When he crawled up from the wreckage, shocked that he could be alive. There were no other survivors when the rescue crews arrived, cause everybody else had died. Reporters pressed around him as the TV cameras rolled, and they asked him things like, how's it feel and where is it you're from? But to him they were all just aliens, giant talking bugs. And he struggled with the language as they pumped him full of drugs. He crashed to earth like Icarus, flown too close to the sun. Why him but not the others? Could he be the chosen one? And sometimes we ought to stand alone on a long dark road or at the foot of a throne. Off the one in the dark, you know there's something stuck. And on the other, a star-crowned king sits mocking you. But maybe it's not you he's laughing at. Oh no, not today, cause your time has not yet come. Hey baby, maybe you're the chosen one, you're the chosen one. Well, Holy Mother of God, but don't the sea feel big? When you're floating out on it like a leaf on a twig. You shipwrecked with all hands lost, save for one, because somehow you survived. And now a life vest is keeping you alive. In all that fathomless infinity, you're bobbing on the waves. In all that constant coming into being and passing away. And the vast horizon's empty. There's not a soul to hear you cry. So you curse the sea, but whenever you curse the sea, you curse the sea in vain. It's flesh and blood and bone all past, but the sea always remains. And sometimes we all gotta go alone on a long dark road or at the foot of a throne. I'm the one in the dark, you know there's something starking. On the other star-crowned king sits mocking. But maybe it's not true, he's laughing out, oh no, not today, cause your time has not yet come. Hey baby, maybe you're the chosen one, you're the chosen one, you're the chosen one, you're the chosen one. Yeah, let's call the chosen one. I'll do one or two more, and then I'm going to turn over the stage to somebody vastly more qualified and anticipated here. What am I going to do? Well, I was going to play a song called Paradise, Tian Tang, and it's actually kind of tells a story about my wife and I moving down to Hualien from Taipei 20 years ago, 21 years ago, something like that. Long time ago, but just a feeling, I remember, just wanted to live here. Wanted to get away from the big city life and come on down here to Sofong and just enjoy a slower paced reality here. So I'll play a song called Paradise. And then maybe, if I feel like it, I'll segue into another song called Going Home. And going home is just about that feeling that I get, especially when I take the train and when I cross the Wugua Xitao and cross the Wugua Bridge on the train, I just feel like I'm home again. I can breathe deep. And it's about that. Anyway, get through Paradise here, we'll do this. Curtains blowing in the wind, with you lately on my mind. It's another rum and coke to help to pass the time. You've been paradise. This is the place where you should be lying, right here by my side. Wouldn't it be nice to live our lives out here in the blue sky, sand and sea? Ditch our jobs in the city lights, set ourselves free. Count the stars at night. And my sleep comes easy, knowing that you love me. And if I close my eyes, if I close my eyes, if I close my eyes, I can draw you nearer. 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 Crowing at 5 o'clock as the sun climbs over the mountaintop. Think of you and I just can't stop from wishing you were here. A wash of waves upon the shore, a wash and run I miss you more. Every tender way I pour and I'm falling down again. Here in paradise, breeze in the palms, kiss them, sweet inside. And if I close my eyes, if I close my eyes, if I close my eyes, I can almost feel you. I can almost feel you. Yeah, I can almost feel you. Yeah, I can almost feel you. Thank you. Bars and sleeping on planes, reading books on buses. I've been riding songs on trains. Gone 10,000 miles and now I'm rolling home to you on a steel road between the mountains and the sea. Rolling home, that's where my heart is. That's where my love lies. Home is now wherever you may be. Rolling home, that's where my heart is, and that's where my love lies. Home is now wherever you may be. Home is now wherever you may be. You've been on my mind all morning, you were on my mind last night. You'll be on my mind all afternoon, 'cause you're my heart's delight. This train, it keeps on rocking, baby, I'm rolling home to you on a steel road between the mountains and the sea. Rolling home, that's where my heart is, that's where my love lies. Home is now wherever you may be. Rolling home, that's where my heart is, and that's where my love lies. Home's now wherever you may be. Home is now wherever you may be. That's going on. That's going on. And we're not going home yet. I'm done my musical labors here, my portion of the musical entertainment this afternoon. Now it's my great pleasure to put this guitar down. Yeah. Put that down. And I'm going to switch microphones over here. And I'm going to go to my notes. I might need notes for this. I might need notes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't clap yet, but we have on the stage with us, a very good friend of mine, and also someone that I consider beyond just a friend, but a kind of, what's the word? What's the word? An inspiration, I would say. Somebody who's taken the songwriting craft, the performing art, and elevated it to a level that most of us never get to because we don't want it enough, or we don't push hard enough, or we just don't have the talent that some people have. And I think Scott has the package. He's got the talent, he's got the drive, and he's got the package, and we're all so happy so lucky to have him here with us this afternoon. Just by way of a quick introduction, Scott was born not so long ago in West Virginia, in the United States of America, the great state of, he's young, West Virginia. And then his family moved north to Canada. They immigrated to my country, to Canada, because it's better. We don't know the reasons why. I didn't probe that deep in the interview. But anyway, Scott strongly identifies, I think, as Canadian. Yeah, Canadian, good enough, close enough. Anyway, based out of Edmonton, Alberta, out there in the prairies, the foothills of the Rockies, actually. And Scott Cook has released a total of 8 albums of his original music in his musical career. 8. JourneyThe. 8 records, that's a lot. Packed with songs, packed with words. Fun fact, you all like fun facts, right? A lot of my students, when they're doing a presentation now, that the trend is to include a fun fact. You want to hear a fun fact about Scott Cook? His longest song has 1,043 words, is that correct? The guy writes a song with 1,000 words in it. Who does that? That's an essay, right? That's like a term paper here at Donghua. But it's a labor of love for this guy. His songs are labors of love, and they're stories, and they tap right into the heart. And he's one of the few people that can make me cry. This man right here, he can make me cry with a song. And there's not many people can do that. This man can. It might even happen today if I'm not careful. So I might sit at the back where no one can see me if I tear up. Anyway, without any further ado, I don't want to talk anymore here. I want to turn the stage over to the great Scott Cook. Let's give him a warm Donghua welcome and let him know how happy we are to have him on this
stage. We get some love for Jason. I'm sitting in a sunbeam, and it's lighting up my eyes. I was always chasing something until I realized if I was gonna be grumpy, I could do that anywhere. And if some place could make me happy, I was already there when I was a young thing. I used to bug my mom and dad. I'd tell them I was bored. They'd say, play games inside your head. And I just thought that was stupid, not knowing I could choose, and that the key to an amusing life is keeping yourself amused. Cause you can make a zebra from a donkey just by painting on some stripes. And this old shack is Shangri life. I squint my eyes just right. I'm sitting in a sunbeam. I got a rainbow on my shelf. Just walking the road to paradise is paradise itself. I'm sitting in a sunbeam. Good thing it caught me and it slammed. I got a body that's still working, and I'll ride it till I can't. I never struck it rich, but I got lucky enough to find a little guy who's easy on my eyes and on my mind. You can say I'm naive. Got my big head in the clouds. I mean, can't you see this whole wide world is going insane right now? But the more I do to be of use, the more I feel okay. And the more I read of history, I'm glad I'm here today. 'Cause you can make a zebra from a donkey just by painting on some stripes. And this old shack is Shangri life. I squint my eyes just right. I'm sitting in a sunbeam. I got a rainbow on my shelf. Just walking the road to paradise is paradise itself. And I got a mirror. It can be a blessing or a thief. Helps me shave and tells me when there's something in my teeth. I could spend a long time looking, finding fault with what I found, or just use that thing for bouncing my sunbeam around. You can make a zebra from a donkey just by painting on some stripes. And this old shack is Shangri-La if I squint my eyes just right. I'm sitting in a sunbeam, I got a rainbow on my shelf, just walking the road to paradise is paradise itself. Just walking the road to paradise is paradise itself. Dajahao. Dageho. Hey y'all, it's so good to be here. As Jason said, my name is Scott Cook. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and it is a joy. This is my first time at Donghua University and first time to see this beautiful theater. This is incredible. Are you enjoying the air conditioning? Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Are you enjoying your seats? You don't mind staying in them for a few more minutes? Okay. Well, Jason mentioned that I was born in West Virginia. My parents are both from Michigan, which is a little ways from West Virginia. Most of my family still lives in Michigan. And I want to play you a song that's set there in Michigan, on the place my dad grew up, the Cook Family Farm in Levering, Michigan. And just last week, this song actually won the grand prize in the Great American Song Contest, which means I get some money. And I'm so, as you may know, folk singers could always use a little bit more money. So I'm happy about that. I'm gonna try my best to make Jason cry right now. My daddy's dog was an emboldened retriever. If you horsed around, he'd chase you, grab the hat right off your head. Granddad said he was a genius, and he'd make you a believer. One time he said, "I'll go get my slippers," and Pop did just what he said. But when he was old and blind and moaning, and the vet said there's no use, Granddad sat and watched him sleeping, thinking about what he had to do. Pal was yipping and running down in his dreams so deep. That old pup was chasing bunnies in his sleep. There is a river shining in the sun, sleeping in the tall grass, laughing as it runs, and we'll all be delivered. I can't say what that means, but there is a river, there's a river in dreams. My grandma was steadfast, faithful all her life, used to pray she'd be a good girl, kneeling by her bed. Became a one-room schoolhouse teacher, a mother and a wife. But when all her work was over, she began to lose the thread. Dreaming in the care home, not hearing the TV, her fingers tracing careful lines across a page we couldn't see, like it was the words of her shepherd who laid his life down for his sheep. She was reading her devotions in her sleep. There is a river shining in the sun, sleeping in the tall grass, laughing as it runs, and we'll all be delivered. I can't say what that means, but there is a river, there's a river in dreams. My great-grandpa built this house when he got back from World War I, using only salvage lumber and rusty nails he'd straightened out. Never complained about the farm work, but he loved when it was done. In those days, every creek in the pastures was swimming with trout. And like he insisted on driving, even when he was going blind, 'cause he had every twist and turn of those back roads in his mind. In dreams, his hands relived the habits that the old man couldn't keep, moving just like he was tying flies in his sleep. There is a river shining in the sun, sleeping in the tall grass, laughing as it runs, and we'll all be delivered. I can't say what that means, but there is a river, there's a river in dreams. There is a river in dreams. Thank you so much, friends. So I lived in Taiwan from 2000 to 2007. When I first came to Taiwan, I thought I was coming here for like 6 months. And I had no idea how much I was going to fall in love with this country and the people and the island itself. Just ended up staying for 6 years. Every summer I would go back home to Canada though, and I'd go back to see my friends and everything. And I started playing music here in Taiwan. My very first solo gigs, like playing alone, singing songs and telling stories, were here in Taiwan, in Hsinchu County, in Hsinchu City actually, for a buddy, an Australian friend who had his own bar there. He called it Banjos. And he would give me these gigs, and I would go down there and just like on a Thursday night or something and just sing songs and tell stories. And kind of thought maybe I would like to do more of that. So every summer when I would go back to Canada, I would take a little trip around, at first on the bus, and then by motorcycle, and then by car, each summer, gradually going further and further and just trying to play music wherever I could. And a lot of times it was an open mic. So, not getting paid, you just sign up, everybody signs up on a list and you get up to sing your 3 songs. And I was terrified to be up there, but it was good practice for me. And also singing on the street, busking, and just trying to play wherever I could. And while I was doing it, I would go to some festivals, and at the music festivals, I would sometimes see people doing that, but doing it for a living, like they were professionals. And I thought, man, I would love to do that someday. So I thought what would be a good start would be to try and like book a tour in Canada. And back then, a lot of stuff got done over the phone rather than by email. And I still find actually today, even now, if you call somebody, you're way more likely to get an answer. Like maybe they'll tell you no, but they'll tell you something. Whereas an email, you can send out some emails and just never get a response. So what I would do, I would be calling these places, mostly bars or restaurants or cafes were the kind of gigs I was trying to get. And I wanted to call them, but I didn't want to call them when they were super busy, like at lunchtime or dinner time. So what I would have to do is get up in the middle of the night. I would set my alarm for like 2 a.m. and I would go up into the shack on my roof. I was living in Longtan in Taoyuan County. I'd go up into the shack on my roof and call Canada and try and book gigs for us in the summertime. And I got a few gigs. So in 2002, I went there. I did a little tour just by myself, and I lost a lot of money. And in 2003, I took some friends from here, my buddy Tyler, who you know, and my buddy Daryl, a South African, so a Canadian and a South African. Took them both over to Canada. We did a little tour around Alberta and British Columbia, and we lost even more money. And so I thought, I'll try it again. So in 2004, I went again, and I took Tyler and 3 South Africans this time. And we went back, and we lost so much money. All around Alberta and British Columbia. We were just spreading the money around. But we had so much fun. And so I'm what we call a glutton for punishment. So I went ahead and tried it again in 2005. And during that tour in 2004, my buddy Daryl ended up falling in love with a Canadian girl. He was one of the South Africans. He fell in love with a Canadian girl, and he stayed in Canada. So in 2005, I went back and rejoined Daryl, and we did a little tour around BC. And at the end of the tour, there was like $300 left that we could split between us. And both of us had been playing music for a long time up till that point, and it was the first time that ever happened. So I was like, this is working. I'm gonna tour coast to coast, all the way across Canada. How big? Do you have any idea how big it is, Jason, from coast to coast?
Big.
It's big. Yeah. It's big. I wish I could tell you exactly how many kilometers.
Over 7,000.
Over 7,000 kilometers from coast to coast. Most of that you can do just on one highway. It's called the Trans-Canada Highway, and it goes coast to coast. And I thought, I'm just gonna tour across the country. And people warned me about the middle part, what we call Northern Ontario, because people just told me that is like bigger than you could possibly imagine. And everything they said didn't even prepare me for just how big it is. There's nobody there. It's just lakes and trees and bugs. A lot of bugs, black flies, mosquitoes, all kinds of little everything that wants to eat you. And occasionally, as you're driving, it feels like forever. You're driving along the shore of Lake Superior, and occasionally you'll see a sign that says, it's only 100 kilometers to the next little town that you definitely cannot get a show in. So this song is named after one of those towns. It's called Marathon, Ontario. Marathon, Ontario. All the leaves and the tourists are gone. Been whining around Superior, trying to outrun the snow. Run down in a town called Marathon. Waking up to find the windshield frosted over. This idea feels less genius when I'm sober. Back in the Okanagan, I played for food and $90. He talked me down from 100 on the phone. Got back out on the highway in the darkness with the trucks and found a hidden spot to camp alone. And the moonlight and the coyotes gave me chills, but the van was like a blanket fort on wheels. And it's vitally important that you don't know just how stupid the whole thing is when you're setting out. In Fredericton they locked up and kept pouring past last call, and my new best friends and I drank to our health. Outside a guy was rocking amplified on the steps of City Hall, belting out an all-request show for himself. And I thought of all my dreams about a big break, and I wonder if it's worth it for its own sake. 'Cause at least I know I'm free. Paid practice ain't so hard, and if they want wagon wheel, they better tip good. No one told me to come out here and max out my credit cards. No one even asked me. I just wedged in where I could, and I love the roads unwinding and the hunger, and forgetting I'm not getting any younger. 'Cause it's vitally important that you don't know just how stupid the whole thing is when you're setting out. 'Cause 'Cause most of what you're seeing is just smoke. But if you hang in, you might find out what the fire was all about. Besides me and Jason, does anybody here, have you ever heard of a guy called Terry Fox? Nobody. All right. Well, they didn't have the advantage of going to elementary school in Canada. So I'll tell you, he was a kid from Winnipeg. He was a runner. But in 1979, he got cancer and they had to cut off his leg. And in 1980, when he was 21 years old, he decided to set out to run all the way across Canada on an artificial leg to raise money for cancer research. He called it the Marathon of Hope. He started in Newfoundland in April. Through gale force winds, rain and snow, ran the equivalent of a marathon every single day, hoping to raise $1 from every single Canadian. They let him do the opening kickoff at a Canadian football game. He got to throw out the first pitch for the Blue Jays. He got to meet our Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, and Daryl Sittler and Bobby Orr, his hero, and made it all the way to Thunder Bay before he had to quit. The cancer had come back and spread to his lungs. He was dead within a year, but he raised the $24 million before he died, and almost $1 billion in his name since. They put up a statue of him running right where he stopped. But it's like we don't even remember that he didn't make it. It's like he's always still running in our minds. It's vitally important that you don't know just how stupid the whole thing is when you're setting out. 'Cause most of what you're seeing is just smoke. But if you hang in, you might find out what the fire was all about. What the fire was all about. Woo! Thank you, man. All right. Well, I want to sing a love song now. My sweetheart is back in Canada. Her name's Pamela May. We've been touring together for most of the last 4 years. I moved in with her in 2020, in February of 2020. And in March of 2020, in Canada, went into lockdown, COVID lockdown. We were supposed to stay home. And so we ended up spending a lot of time together. And it could have gone good and it could have gone bad, but thankfully it went good. And she started playing the upright bass at that time, the double bass, you know what I mean? The bass violin. And in 2022, we went out on the road together and we've been touring together most of that time around Canada and the United States and New Zealand and Australia and Europe. But she decided she wanted to go home a little earlier than me. She likes home a little more than me, I guess. So she's back there, but I told her I would sing her a love song every day while she's away. So this one's going out to her, called Leave a Leto. This is a low-budget love song. There's no car chasing, no moon falling from the sky or mountains crumbling to the sea. I just want to be around you. I'll try to say it plain. And if you don't believe me, I'll spell it out again. I know it's intricate step work. We don't want to rush this measured cadence and the distance between us. But I got a steady feeling like I never knew. I'm thanking life for second chances and glory for you. You know so many songs, if singing makes them true, well, play me one where the lovers make it through. The miles stretch out between us like a hazy memory. When it's storming on the highway, it's getting hard to see. Leave a light on in your heart for me. And if I'm running my mouth, won't you put me in my place? Sit my fool self down and look me in the face. You know I'm not the quickest learner, but I'm figuring it out. Waiting for those pretty words to tumble from your mouth. You say you got so many stories, plenty that I know. Tell me one where you don't have to go. And the miles stretch out between us like a hazy memory. When it's storming on the highway and it's getting hard to see. Leave a light on in your heart for me. After all that time wondering what could be and could have been, since I landed in your company, the world feels new again. I'm just grateful for the sunlight at just that time of year, and whatever unseen forces conspired to bring us here. So go after your dreams, every place you dare, just dream us one where I can meet you there. When the miles stretch out between us like a hazy memory, when it's storming on the highway and it's getting hard to see, leave a light on in your heart for me. Leave a light on in your heart for me. Thank you. All right. Well, Jason mentioned that I sing a lot of songs with a lot of words in them. This is one. How you guys going? How's your English level? How do you feel so far? Can you understand? Are you with me?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's try out this one then. This one, I realized even if I'm in a different country, like when I'm in Australia, they don't even know what I'm talking about in one line, because I talk about my grandma. This is inspired by my mom's side of the family, and my grandma on my mom's side, she used to sew their clothes, and she used to get the clothes at a secondhand store. I think y'all know a secondhand store. You know what I mean, right? We have one in Canada called the Salvation Army. It's all around the world, as a matter of fact. But in Canada, we call it the Sally Ann. And in Australia, when I play this song there, they don't know what that means, because they call it salvos there. And they don't call it a secondhand store. They call it an op shop. And these are the difficulties of writing songs in any language and then taking them to other countries and trying to be understood. But I'm glad you're with me. Let's see how we go on this one. My grandpa and grandma came up from Alabama for a GM job in Pontiac. Bought an itty-bitty house on a skinny city lot and dug a big old garden out back. Grew most everything they needed and saved all the seeds and dried whatever they couldn't can. And grandma sold nearly all their clothes out of stuff from the Sally Ann. Never bought or knew if they could find it used or scavenge it for free. Now whatever they had left over, they'd give to folks in need. Grandma made money baking fancy cakes for people on the other side of town. Grandpa bought an old car and an older one for parts and fixed it every time it broke down. And lard was their all-purpose seasoning for the gravy and the biscuits, grits and okra and turnip greens. Only work they knew was hard, only times they knew were tough. They never had a lot, they always had enough. Well, the years went by, my grandfolks died, and so much what they knew got lost. And everything now seems built to break down, and fixing it's twice the cost. And if you got a new car, you won't get far trying to be a troubleshooter. Just take a trip to the dealership and hook it up to a computer. Whose dreams are these anyway? We consumers are consumed. Why do we decorate our houses to look like hotel rooms? Hard as I try, I can't figure why folks admire obscene extravagance like Musk and Bezos, Trump and Gates, Kanye and the Kardashians. It's all about the game, according to the winners. Then they got everything you want in warehouses called fulfillment centers. It's like there's some kind of hole we're trying to fill with all this stuff. We always have a lot, we never have enough. I heard about a man in a faraway land who made respectable folks aghast, steadily gathering an entourage of fishermen, prostitutes, and outcasts. Near as they could figure it, he was illegitimate to say he was born in a stable. Say he made wine out of water one time and knocked over some bankers' tables. But it was like daring the authorities and clergy to do their worst. When he said the first will be last and the last would be first. Don't give like the hypocrites and make a big show of it. Well, they're always gathering more. And if you want to see heaven, sell your possessions, give what you got to the poor. And if you try to save your life, you'll surely lose it. Said the kingdom is inside you if you choose it. He and a dozen good buddies wandering around sleeping rough. They never had a lot, but they always had enough. They never had a lot, they always had enough.
Thank you, friends. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words, I gotta say. All right. Well, I'll play that. That one will be on a new album. My 8th album is coming out soon, and this is another song that'll be on that album. And this one, when I play it in another country, I always have to do a little bit of explaining beforehand. But here, I don't think I need to explain this one at all.
When I was a foreign teacher in Taiwan, it was such a strange situation. We got paid well in spite of our partying and our lack of qualifications. Cause most anyone who could afford it would send their little boys and girls English kindergartens to get a head start in the world. My last job was in Taipei City with the good boss I still thank. I had a funny little student with Coke bottle glasses and his English name was Frank. He was younger than the other kids and he just looked confused most of the time. And I know a teacher really shouldn't have a favorite, but Frankie was mine. Frankie used to squint up at the whiteboard as I was writing out the letters. They put a patch over his good eye so the other would learn to see better. And all the other boys like Power Rangers, Transformers, and King Kong. Frankie's favorite things were kitties and flowers and his mom. And every now and then we'd show the kids movies with the projector and a screen. And Frankie got scared whenever any kind of bad guy entered the scene. Like even the hijacker penguins in Madagascar, a cartoon shark or a bear. He'd bawl like a baby till we took him out of there. And at nap time I'd sing, go to sleep you little babies, and swap in one of their names on each pass. And Frankie would ask me to sing a verse for his mommy and his sister, going to sleep in the younger kids' class. Go to sleep, you little sister. After their nap, a time when he's calling would come fix up the girl's hair. And Frankie would ask her to do his, and she'd put a braid or a bow in there. Sometimes he'd show up with his nails done, because his mom thought it was cute. And we knew it couldn't last, but we all thought so too. I knew next year they'd be in real school, where the bell clangs down the hall, where they list the test scores from best to worst and post them on the wall, where boys and girls use different bathrooms and play in different games. And Frank would learn like we all did not to be strange. See, I started grade school in Saskatchewan and then Kamloops, British Columbia. And I remember my dad showing me how to fight in case I ever had to. And one time I fought James Hanna and then I cried till I almost puked. I'd won the fight, but I didn't feel like Bo or Luke Duke. And I didn't know anything about it then, but there was another school close by where they took kids from the reservation and where hundreds of them died. Pulling them from their families was the surest way to change them. They took away their words and cut off their braids to tame them. And I remember Frankie dancing around the classroom. All the kids clapped and cheered as he spun by. It was Chinese opera, Mando pop and breakdance moves. And I tried not to laugh too hard to make him shy. Go on, dance, little Frankie. And I guess I was hard on Frank sometimes, hoping to protect him somehow. I thought the big world would be merciless, and I wished he'd toughen up now. And one day I raised my voice at him when he was daydreaming again. And of course he cried, and I felt like a monster then. Well, kids have got their blind spots, and their teachers try to solve them. And it can be hard to tell if you're helping them or just being part of the problem. And the whole world gets blurry when you're learning to see with a different eye. It's a good thing 4-year-olds keep asking us why. And if I knew Frank's Chinese name, I'd put it in this song and hope it finds its way to him somehow. Say thanks for all you taught me, and I'm sorry if I did you wrong. Guess you're all grown up, I just hope you're dancing now. Hope you're all grown up, and I hope you're dancing now.
Well, thank you, friends. I think I'll just sing a few more songs here. I want to sing one that I didn't write. I've always tried to make a point of that, of always singing at least one song by a friend of mine, because I think I know some of the best songwriters alive, and most of them are people that hardly anybody has heard of. So this song is written by a friend of mine named Jonathan Bird, and I met him on my very first cross-Canada tour. That tour I mentioned, that was a financial disaster, where I lost all my money and even ran out of room on my credit cards. But it wasn't all bad, because I got to meet Jonathan Bird, and I saw him up on stage at a festival doing something that I wished I could do. And I learned a lot from him over the years. And eventually we became close friends. And right now he is actually taking a break from touring to go back into academia, just like yourselves. He's in his 50s, but he late in life found out that he has ADHD and got the right medication and found out that he loves school. So he's back in university. He's pursuing a degree in advanced mathematics. And I can't really understand it, but that's okay. Whatever you're into, you know. But I figured while he's off the road, I should at least help out by carrying his song around for him. I took some liberties with it. I changed it around a little bit. His version sounds very North Carolinian, because he is a North Carolinian. All his music sounds like North Carolina. But I heard just a hint of Africa in his guitar playing, and I thought it might be cool to just take it right on over to Africa. So I arranged it on the mbira. This is a Zimbabwean thumb piano. And you can help me with this one if you want. If you feel like singing, you can help me. You only need to know one line, and that's in the chorus. It just goes, "You can't outrun the radio."
I was driving out in Kansas when I heard that song you love. The big sunflowers, for all their graces, turn their faces to the sun. Son, you can't outrun the radio. That's your part. You can't outrun the radio. My friends tell me, move to Austin, or maybe Nashville, Tennessee. If I can make it back to North Carolina, let the music come to me. See, you can't outrun the radio. Can I hear you? You can't outrun the radio. And even Dale Earnhardt, he was hell on a speedway. He was a champion 7 times. He thought he'd make it one more 500. He went 499. When it's time, you can't outrun the radio. I can almost hear you. You can't outrun the radio. You can't outrun the radio. You can't outrun the radio. Wherever you go, you can't outrun. It's all uphill to fall asleep. I check the FM on the alarm clock and pray the Lord this light to keep. You can't outrun the radio. You can't outrun the radio. Last chance. You can't outrun the radio. You can't outrun the radio. Wherever you go, you can't outrun.
Well, thank you so much, friends. I'll sing you 2 more songs. I wanted to sing this one because this is a song about growing up, and it is amazing. Jason, how long ago did you say you guys moved down here to Hualien?
2005, something like that.
Wow, 21 years ago. Amazing. It's amazing. When I first came to this country, like I said, I thought I was going to come here for 6 months, maximum. You too, yeah, okay. And I remember in that first year, I met a Canadian guy who told me he had lived here for 15 years. And I was like, what, you what? And I just couldn't understand how it happened. But I very quickly came to understand how someone could fall in love with Taiwan. And in the case of somebody like Jason, fall in love with Venus and make a family and all that. So many of my friends who are still here have made babies here, and now their kids are growing up. And life goes on, and it's an amazing thing. So this is a song I wrote about all that. It's called Dogs and Kids.
arm in arm here when we were younger. Tried everything they said we shouldn't do. And we took as many trips as we took lovers. But some of those trips, the dog comes back with you. And some of those trysts turned into tricycles. And my wild and reckless friends got safe and old, wheeling little buddy homeward on the bicycle, with all the hope and joy and poop a bike seat could hold. Now the feral festival kidlets keep changing costumes. They run in a pack, dig holes in the ground, and they like sleeping under the table, just like the dogs do. So you watch your step when there's little ones around. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. So we talk about work and what we're reading, why bastards keep winning, and where we'd move if they did. We talk about who went home with whom at the party last weekend. But eventually we just watch the dogs and kids chasing, sniffing, and eating's all they're on about. They don't complicate their blues, they just moan. They don't think much about themselves, they just freak out. If they got a bone to pick with you, it's probably just a bone. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. My buddy had a run of bad luck and bad choices. If it goes bad in court, one of us has to take his pop. He's trying to learn to listen to the right voices. Hope he don't have to miss his kid growing up. We were all bulletproof daydream manifestors, but all the bluster just boils down to love. Just want to be a good uncle, be a good ancestor. I'm taking better care, and there's someone to take care of. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. Thank you so much, friends. Hey, before I play this last song, I want to just say a huge thanks to this stage, sound, and lighting crew and live streaming crew. They're doing an amazing job here. Very professional. Great working with you. Can we have some love for the crew, please? And can we have some love for a personal hero of mine who made this afternoon happen? That is Venus Guo there. Can we have some love for her? And of course, my friend Jason Grenier, Mr. Green, some of your teacher. Amazing. Thank you very much for your attention here this afternoon. It's been a joy singing songs for you. We'll bring out some comfy chairs and answer some questions later. And I would be more than happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Also, I think Venus is going to give some stuff away, so that'll be exciting. I'll just close with this song. This is my biggest hit song.
And by that, I don't mean that I made $1 million from it, because I certainly did not. It has been played on the radio, it has gone some places, but to me, the biggest success I can imagine for a song is when I hear somebody else sing it. And this song has been sung and recorded by a lot of different people around the world, and it's such a cool thought to me to think that this song goes places that I don't even go. Sometimes it's at the festival around a campfire somewhere that I'm not even in the country, you know? And it brings me a lot of joy. I wrote this song right here in Taiwan, in a town on the northeast coast called Fulong, in Gonglia.
This guitar came from a timber, from the body of a tree, through the workshop of a luthier. Now it's on loan to me, and it's good company after dinner, and fits my hands just fine. But someday another singer with a pair of hands like mine will coax out songs much prettier, still hiding in its strings, and sing stronger, braver words than I could ever sing. And folks are gonna love it, of this I'm almost sure, so I'll take good care of it, 'cause I'm borrowing it from her. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but time won't own it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. And I still love my country. Sometimes it's hard to recognize it, but I count myself lucky to have been born inside it. And I'm grateful for the rights others struggle hard to win. You can be sure I'm gonna fight when they try and take them back again. Oh, and everywhere are teachers, though some fell along the way. The words they said still reach us, just like you're teaching me here today. And it might not be out loud, but it's clear in what you do. And I hope to make you proud, 'cause I borrowed it from you. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, time won't own it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. Seems these days we're in a hurry, grab up all that's left to use, putting patents on discoveries, making seeds that don't reproduce. If our vision is so narrow, seeing only bought and sold, we'll end up like the pharaohs, buried with their gold. We've all pushed this thing along, we've all been guided by our fear, but the river sings a song we've got to be quieter to hear. It's in every child's face, new and hopeful as a stem. Best be gentle with this place, 'cause we're borrowing it from them. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but time won't own it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. Sing if you want. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but Time won't hold it to you for long. You don't own it. Pass it along.
Come on, Donghua, I think we can dance on it. And let's go out of here. How much we appreciate those songs. Wow. Didn't try, but almost. How often can you hear somebody of this caliber come and sing you a song about teaching kindergarten in Taiwan, you know, and sing a song and let you know what's in a little boy's heart 20 years ago? That's something special. We're gonna open things up here. We're gonna put a couple chairs out here, and maybe did we bring any potted plants? We have ferns. Between two ferns, I like that. That's Zach Galifianakis. Anyway, we're gonna just have a little chat here. We're gonna open up the floor. As I told my students here, this is your chance to ask Scott Cook a question if there's something you'd like to know. Scott, as he mentioned before here, 7 years in Taiwan. Has been doing this professionally, singing songs for people like you since 2007. Full-time.
19 years, yeah.
Full-time.
That's my only job.
It's his only job, and I think he does his job very well, don't you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. The real deal right here. So we're going to, we still got some waters out here. Could you pass me one? So yeah, I've known Scott for a long time. What do you want to do with the table here? We all right? Did I steal your water, maybe? Well, I got 3 waters now. You got half a water.
That's okay, man.
Could you show us that instrument again, Scott? I just want to make sure that everybody can see. Show them the face of it, if you don't mind. This is not a digital thing. This is not some kind of digital touchpad type thing. I just want to make sure everybody's clear. This is old school. This is wood and metal. Yeah, exclusively.
It's called an mbira, and in Africa, they actually make these metal bits. They make them. They just. I bought this from the guy who made it. His name was Dingaswayo Juma. And he said they make them just by peeling wire. You know, they get wires and they peel the rubber bit off the wire to just get the metal part out. And they heat that in the fire and just hammer it together to make these. It looks like the ends of spoons or forks, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
It looks like
cutlery, you know?
And then they're all stuck in there. And when you want to tune it, it only plays in one key.
You tune it?
Yeah, when you want to tune it, you need to tune it with a pair of pliers and a hammer because you want to knock these either further up or further down.
I heard that's all you need to fix a motorcycle.
And I'll just give you a little with the microphone here. Just like that. Then I put a guitar pickup in it. That's how you can hear that.
Wow, so it is capable to make pleasant sounds without digital intervention there. We don't need...
Yeah, I mean, so in Africa, when they play it, they just put it in a big bowl, and the bowl acts as a resonator.
Look at all this stuff.
When we've been in places where we don't have a PA, if I'm playing with Pamela, I just put this against the side of the bass. Just hold it against the bass, and then the bass acts as the resonator to amplify the sound.
The things you learn on the road, yeah? Lots of road stories, this man. This man has driven many roads, ridden many roads. How are you getting around Taiwan these days, Scott, by the way? On a scooter. This man on a scooter.
On a Yamaha.
Freewheeling Franklin over here with a guitar strapped to his back and a yoga mat and a bunch of other stuff I didn't look too carefully at in those bags. But
and I'm going Huandao. I'm almost done.
This guy, just as part of his visit here, he's doing a Huandao around the island. This is something most of us will never do unless we get up.
I don't know, Jason. I'm looking at these young people. I think a lot of these people will do Huandao.
As long as they do it slowly and carefully. I'm always on about the road safety, right? Slow, sensible, safe driving. Too tired, pull over.
This is a bit off topic, maybe, but when I first came to Taiwan, my first year in Taiwan, I did Huandao on a Sanyang 125cc, and it was great. But at that time, my Taiwanese friends were like, no, it's very dangerous. You shouldn't do that, right? And now, at that time, I met one friend, a Canadian guy who had walked around Taiwan. And I was like, that is incredible, right? Anyway, nowadays I hear that tons of young people are doing it by motorcycle, by bicycle, and walking. And last time I was here in December, I was staying in Fulong, and I went on the bicycle. They got a path along the coast by Fulong, and I was following that path, and I passed a guy on foot, a Taiwanese guy walking, and on the back of his backpack, he had a sign that said Huan Dao. And I stopped. I was like, what? Does that say Huan Dao? And he said, yes. And it turned out this guy, he was like 22. He's going to go become a firefighter. And he had like a month off beforehand. And he thought, why don't I just walk around Taiwan? 我觉得好厉害，对不对？
非常的厉害. It's a great way to see any place with all your senses engaged. You know, you're seeing everything, smelling everything, hearing everything, even tasting it if you're not careful. I cycle a lot, I swallow a lot of bugs. I eat a lot of insects. If I'm breathing heavily, a lot of bugs fly down my throat, unfortunately. But so we've got all this stuff here. Excuse me. We got all kinds of stuff here. Let me just...
We want to have a question, Q&A.
Yeah.
And so I prepared some questions first.
Well, let's show them what they could get here
Today,
if they ask a question here.
Get that.
We got all kinds of stuff here. This is a CD that I made with my band, 9号公路乐团, Highway 9. This is the latest Mr. Green Highway 9 CD, and we got some of these. If you want to ask Scott a question, you could get a CD. What else we got here? We got some posters. Same thing, same album, they're nice. I don't know how well they show up here, but we got posters. You got something you put up in your dorm room there. You could throw darts at it, something like that. And we got some nice T-shirts here. Nice quality merch here. Look at this. Look at these nice shirts.
Wow.
So all you got to do to walk out of here with one of these fabulous objects is ask Scott Cook a question.
Put your hand up for the microphone.
What do you want to know about what it's like to travel around the world making music for people? Can we get a microphone down here? We're going to bring a microphone over to this young person here. We'll get a question here.
Very fair. In fact, I'm not young. I will be 60 this September.
Wow, you look my age.
I know we Orientals look younger than our ages, but anyway, let me first introduce myself. I'm a faculty member in EE department, electrical engineering department, but I stay in the States for altogether 9 years. I got both my master and the PhD degrees in Purdue University in Indiana, which is to the south of the state of Michigan. I've been to Michigan 3 times while I was a student there. And my question is about your work, at least 4 songs about your works. The first one is about this, the one using this African instrument. You said it's composed by a friend of you. His last name is Bird? Or?
Yes, Jonathan Bird.
Jonathan
Bird with a Y, B-Y-R-D.
B-Y-R-D. And he's from North Carolina?
Yes.
That's a Tar Heel state, right? Tar Heel.
Yeah.
And you said the song reminds you about some African music. But to me, I felt that it's some kind of a, should I say jazz or even before jazz, the blues or something like that. Did you feel this similar way? Maybe not the same way, but...
Well, when I heard Jonathan's version, what reminded me of African music was his guitar playing. There was just something reminded me of African guitar. You're okay, just don't go in front of that speaker. You're good. Yeah. But, I think it's an interesting thing that you bring up because blues music, comes from America, but this very much comes from Africa via America, right? Yeah. People brought from Africa, brought their music, and this music collided with European music, right, and with European song forms, and made American music. That's where American music came from. And even the banjo, which we think of as a very American instrument, is an African instrument that Africans were building them. African enslaved people were building banjos because they wanted to have this instrument that they had back home. And European people put the frets on it, made it look something like this, but that's an African instrument. And so much of what I think is interesting in American music, and particularly the blues and what we call the blue notes in blues and jazz, comes from Africa.
The original blues is kind of melancholy or sad songs. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It can be. Yeah, a lot of times the subject matter is sad. Sometimes the music is happy. A lot of times the lyrics are sad because written by people who were in poverty, written by people who had a hard life or originally in slavery. Yeah.
So you mentioned about banjo, the song with a lot of words. You play the guitar like playing banjo. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The style of guitar playing that I was doing there is called flat picking, but it's very much like claw hammered banjo. And both that guitar style and that banjo style are what we associate with old time, what we call old time music in America, in Appalachia. So in the mountains on the east side of America, that's where old time or mountain music came from. And then that music, a version of that music that was kind of supercharged and made for a show is called bluegrass music, that came out of old time music from the American mountain music.
Supercharged country. If I could just interject, I'll just let everybody know Scott is a very talented banjo player. In addition to a guitar player, he didn't bring it with him, but he often when you show up at my house, he's got this on one shoulder and he's got a banjo on the other shoulder. He's double barrel loaded for bear.
So at least I look like a talented banjo player.
Takes up a lot of space, this guy, when he's coming through. You know he's in the room when he's here. He's a tall drink of water and he's strapped on with all these instruments here. It's something to see, I'll tell you, especially when it's on a motorcycle barreling towards you. Yeah.
Who's going to win something? Come on.
Well, that merits something up here. How are we going to do this? What's the format here? One of those ones? Oh, these are the good ones. This is Scott's CD. Now, we should talk a little bit about this real quick. Look, I make CDs, yeah? I make CDs. I don't make them often, and it takes me a long time. This one took about 16 years to come out. That's okay. It's not a race, but I make CDs. Scott's not content with making CDs. That's not enough for this guy, yeah? Scott has so much going on in his mind up here. He thinks a lot, this guy. If we're going to open it, I don't even want to. It's too beautiful. It's honestly, it's beautiful. Look, it's gold. Look at this. This guy writes books with every CD. How many pages in that? 180 something?
240.
240 pages. So if it's not enough for you to make a CD of your original music, write a 240-page book to go along with it and give that to people as a package. I think if you're doing that, you're definitely onto something. Look at this.
The CD.
You have to try to find the CD in his CD. It's not obvious. It doesn't jump out at you. There's so much going on.
One thing I want to say is that if you wanted to make a 240-page CD package like this, my friends back home are like, how did you even get that made? And the answer is, I get them made in Taiwan.
Made in Taiwan. That's a made in Taiwan product. This is made in Taiwan too. This one's made in Taiwan. Anybody want one right now? I'll give you one. Come on up here. First one up here. Come on. Katie, this is for you. We're giving away Taiwan products today. It says right here, made in Taiwan. Those are the words. Yeah, made in Taiwan. That's for you. You have it already? Okay, you have it now. Okay.
Who has a question?
Let's get a t-shirt going. Where we going?
So I wonder, how did you start your music journey? How did you start to learn music?
How did I start to learn music? I guess when I was a kid, the first thing I heard the Beastie Boys. Do you know the Beastie Boys? You guys know the Beastie Boys?
I saw the Beastie Boys perform at the Sunshine Tobacco Factory in Taipei. Venus and I were on the front row, on the rail. for that show. Wow.
Anyway, a hip hop group from America. I saw when I first heard them, I started rapping. I started trying to write my own raps like them, and then later writing songs. But in high school, I had some friends that were playing music, and I wanted to play with them. And our main inspiration at that time was Nirvana. Remember that band, Nirvana? Anybody know them? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Nirvana came out with that. Remember that? It blew our mind. We were so excited. We wanted to start a band. So I just bought a little cheap Mexican guitar and an amp from a secondhand store, and started playing with my friends. And we started just playing. We got some little gigs at that time, just in kind of very rundown venues in our city. Some really probably unsafe places that would hire us for these gigs, and we would go play and on the weekends. And for some, for a 15, 16-year-old, it was very exciting to be out with scary punk rockers with mohawks and all that stuff, playing music. So that's where my journey started. And after that, I just got into so many different kinds of music. I like it all. But gradually, I decided that what I wanted to focus on was folk music, singing songs and telling stories.
So there we have it, a folk musician who was turned on to music by the Beastie Boys, a rap trio from New York City, and Nirvana, who came out of where? Seattle?
Seattle. Yeah. So hip hop and punk rock. Yeah, that's my route to folk music.
Wouldn't have called it. Would not have predicted that. Not at all. That's a good question there. That definitely merits something from the table. I think maybe what we'll do is the question askers, you can come and pick your gift later rather than us keep getting. Does that sound better? Does that sound like a civilized way to do this? I don't know. We don't usually give away stuff. Usually stuff's for sale. It's not for free like today, but it's a special occasion here. And we got all these people with questions. I'm sure things they want to know. Who else got a question for Scott Cook here? You want to ask a question? Yeah. Okay, we got a mic back there. Oh yeah, here's one. Oh, we got someone else? Okay, whoever. Next. Okay, you pick him. I can't see. How can you see?
I got a hat.
Oh, he's professional. He's trained for this. The lights blind me. Scott's used to.
Okay, we'll go you, then you.
Okay. Yeah. I like your song about the boy Frank and your grandma. Talked about you never had the love, but you always had enough. So I want to know, how can you observe those, like how say that? How can you observe those small details of the life of your grandmom and the little boys? How can you have those kind warm heart to observe those things?
Thank you for asking that. I feel like, a lot about what makes a song work, to my mind, is those details, those little details from life that makes it believable. If you just write a song about, it's nice to have a family, or it's nice to be in love, or whatever. To me, there's nothing there to grab onto, Whereas if you give some details from real life, then people hear it and there's something for them to grab onto.
To make your lyrics more concrete.
Yeah, to make them concrete, more specific, right? And then there's a story there. Then you can follow it, right? As a listener, you can start to see the movie.
So you agree that a singer must also be a storyteller?
I mean, I shouldn't say must, because people can do any, music can work in so many different ways. But for what I'm interested in is songs that tell stories. And, just like when you're watching a movie, it's the details that brings you inside, right? And I think particularly, when I was writing that song about my grandparents, what I'm talking about is a different thing. I'm talking about consumerism. I'm talking about how we always buy more things, and we never have enough, right? and where my grandparents didn't have a lot, but they had enough. You know, this is the point of the song, but the way into the point of the song is through a story. And when I was writing that song, I called up my mom and just asked her about stuff about her growing up and you know what it was like when they were growing up. How did grandma make clothes? How did they make money? How did they survive? You know, they were like my grandpa had a job with making cars for General Motors, but they were doing everything else, you know, and growing their own food and all this to survive. So the details of that, I think, are what makes it believable and what brings the listener along. And same goes for the story about the Frankie. All those details are true. That's, you know, it's a story about my student. It gets at other things. You know, the point of the song isn't necessarily that. When I was trying to write it, I thought, I don't know, how can anyone relate? How many people were foreign English teachers in Taiwan, you know? But people don't need to have been a foreign English teacher in Taiwan to hear the story and believe the story. And then it gives them feelings about other things in their life. You know what I mean?
They just need to know that some little boys like puppies and flowers and their mom. That you can see into a little boy's heart. You know, and that whole exchange, I would say the thing that struck me most is the word listen. I think to be a storyteller and be a songwriter this caliber, you have to listen and be aware and take in your environment, the details thereof. And listening is a big part of it. And I've known Scott for a couple of decades, 20 years. So, you know, we spent time together. We've performed together. And one thing I'll say about this man is that when you talk, he listens. Scott listens. If Scott asks you, hey, how's it going? What have you been up to? If you tell him, he'll listen and he'll track that and record it. He's not one of those people that just says, hey, how's it going? What have you been up to? And they're already checked out by the time you're answering. They're not even listening anymore. You know what I mean? Because they're not listening. They're not fully present. They're already thinking about the next thing they're going to say, for example. You know what I mean? There's people like this. And then there's people like this, that when you speak with them, they listen actively and they're present. And I think that's why Scott can write these songs about people that we've never met, but we feel like we can get to know them a little bit because he's given us these pieces, you know. And I think I could be wrong, but I think a lot of that comes from being a listener, a genuine, active listener, listening when people talk and just being aware of your environment. You know?
Thank you, man. Yeah, I think a lot of playing music has to do with listening to music as well, right?
That's the equation.
Yeah, this person back there.
The hack is the key. Yeah.
Maybe their mic doesn't work. The crew is on it. They got you. This crew is amazing. They're on it. Can we have some love again for this crew? So good.
Okay, so for me, I also love traveling. I loving to discover the new place and new friends. But I think it's need to do a lot of courage, just like you riding bike in Taiwan. It's just like you do a thing that is not you normally do. And so. Since you're traveling for lots of years, then I was wondering what is keeping push you to traveling, and have you been too tired for traveling?
No, but there have been times in my life when I've been tired of traveling, for sure. Yeah, actually, in 2020, before the pandemic, I was starting to get a little tired, and. Yeah, and I was very grateful for that time to stay at home and recharge, and also develop a daily routine, daily habits of practice on my instrument and exercise and all these things, and learning other people's songs and right now in my life, I'm very much looking forward to going home. I'll be home in a week. And stay there for a month, and then I'll be home for most of the summer, and I'm looking forward to that because, yeah, there is there is a real appeal to home for me. For 13 years, I didn't have a home. I just lived in the van and traveled around. I had one van in North America and one van in Australia, and I would just go between the vans and travel around and sometimes live out of a backpack in other countries. But yeah, since 2020, I have a home, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. But yeah, a big part of this life is traveling, and a lot of the reason is just to bring the songs to new listeners. You know, people all over the world can, you know, I mean, people of course are listening to music online and all that, but I think to really bring it and deliver the songs in person is something special, and so that's why travel is such a big part of this work. But even before I was a singer, I wanted to travel, so singing has been a thing that's allowed me to do that. And yeah, I wouldn't have come to Taiwan at all if it wasn't for this desire to see new places and meet new people. Yeah.
Okay. First thing first, I would like to say that I really enjoy your performance. Like, I can feel you really put like a lot of effort into like music. And I want to ask if have you ever like feel tired of making music or perform? Because yeah, like
That's my thing. That's what I do. I feel tired of music and performing. I do that for both of us. I handle that part. He just keeps going. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, because our teacher Jason told us a lot about you, and now I can feel like like real, like in this distance, and so I feel. Yeah. So have you ever like feel tired, like making music or just like perform, like travel around? You already said that, but
Yeah, no. On the music side, no. I haven't got tired of the music. I have got tired of the traveling at times. But the music, for me, music. I guess it's like any field. Whatever you study, it keeps opening. You know, as you get into it, it keeps getting wider and wider and wider, right? The more I learn about music, the more I realize I don't know about music, and it keeps getting to be a bigger field, and my interest in it gets deeper and becomes more kind of even my interest in performing. I think in the beginning I was mostly just scared to be on stage in front of people. So it was very much just about getting over that. Just, can I play a song in front of people without my hand, without my knees shaking and everything,
Again, that's my department. I handle that for both of us too. Being scared, I got us covered. Yeah.
As time went on, I've become more interested in the how to say, the energetic level of what's happening with a group of people. That there's something human that is being shared when you're sharing songs, and on a deeper level. That's my interest has gone to a deeper level of that, and that also just keeps widening and opening. The longer I do it, the more I'm interested in it. Right there. Oh, and they took the mic away, and now
Lots of good questions. I was hoping this Q&A was going to go well today, and you guys are not letting me down. I know we got lots.
These guys are asking such great questions.
Lots of great questions today.
I know everyone's asking like very personal questions, but like I just want to know like how many instruments can you play like proficiently?
Okay, I thought you were going to say, are you married?
I thought this was going to be a body count question for international globe trotting.
Proficiently, the guitar, I would say I'm approaching proficiency.
He knows his way around a banjo.
I like to play the banjo. I like to play this thumb piano.
Ukulele. I've seen it.
Yeah, I can play the
I've seen it.
Yeah. I can play hand drums all right.
The brother with the djembe is only a campfire away.
On the piano. I don't. Even this instrument, I still feel like I don't really understand it. I've taken some voice lessons before. I've learned things, but I still feel like there's so much to learn.
But before the show, Scott's doing voice exercises to warm up. You know, this is like the hallmark of a professional. You're going to get up here and do this thing. It's like stretching your muscles before you play.
I mean, you were talking for ages before the show.
Not much compared to a normal day, but you know me, I talk a lot. When I'm not withdrawn and quiet, I talk a lot. I kind of up and down like this. But they're warming up his voice. I heard him. Show him what you do. You give him a little, just like that. Yeah. That's what professionals do.
Sometimes you go.
Other people slam a double shot, smoke a cigarette, stub it out, and get up and start singing. But Scott takes it seriously enough. It's his art and it's his craft, and he knows that it's his instrument, so he needs to warm it up, man, before he gets up here to do the thing. Let's keep going with these questions here. These questions are great.
May I ask another question?
Sure.
As you mentioned about ukulele. Ukulele looks like a minimized guitar, but I think they are not this. Of course, they are not the same instrument, but the thing is. Sorry. Is there any relationship between these two? Is ukulele also originated from Africa, or?
Well, ukulele is a Hawaiian word. Yeah, and I guess it's a Hawaiian version of a guitar. I would think the guitar is guitarra, is a Spanish word, so I would think they come from there. But they're all going back to lyres and lutes, and there's so many this kind of instrument. Yeah. But the ukulele, funny enough, if you put the capo right there and just play these 4 strings, you're pretty much playing the ukulele. It's the same. There was somebody back there. I saw him. Yeah.
Okay, this may be a difficult choice given how large your selection is, but if someone has to listen to only one of your songs to better understand you, not just as an artist, but as a person, which one would you choose and why?
Wow, man, that's a question. To understand you.
That's a good question. I have not thought about that. But if I'm in the position where somebody says sing one song, if I'm going to introduce myself to people through music, which happens quite often, if you're on the radio or whatever, and you've got to sing one song, I usually sing the last song that I sang, that song "Pass It Along," I don't know how much it says about me. I guess it says a lot about me because it came from me, but for the most part, it just feels like the thing I want to say about the world. Which I guess a lot of my work, I'm trying to say something about life, and that song is basically just talking about how everything in life that we have is not ours. We're borrowing it from somebody else who's gonna have it after we're gone, and same goes for the world. That like I said, I wrote that song in Taiwan in probably 2011. I've sung it a lot. It's probably the song I've sung the most, and I don't get tired of it because it always reminds me when I'm singing it. I'm always reminded that I will die, and that this is this world that will go on without me, which to me is a very freeing feeling, and reminds me of what's important.
May it land in careful hands when we're gone. Yeah, pass it along. That's a great question. Wow.
Yeah,
talk about putting somebody on the spot. If you pull your entire existence down to one of your songs, which song would it be? But the man had an answer. Yeah. You just try to stump Scott Cook. Try it. You can't. Let's get another question. We got some more people want to know something.
Oh yeah, one back there.
All right.
So first off, my first English and popular culture class professor actually played your music, and You just instilled that.
Was it him?
Yeah. He instilled how much of an inspiration you are, and I gotta say,
Pay me later.
You sound even better live.
Thank you.
So what I want to ask is, I feel in this day and age, we don't really have many people that have this ability to tell stories, or to the certain level that storytellers and musicians can. How did you develop this? And also, starting out where you didn't really see that realistic vision of this being a possibility of something that you can do. Was that something you were afraid of, and how did you overcome that?
When you say this vision of something that I can do you mean as a storyteller or making a living in music? Okay. I guess the answer to both is the same. I watched other people doing it. So with storytelling, storytelling in a song, you don't have a lot of space. Maybe you got 5 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever. Maybe you got 100 words or 200 words or 1,000 words or whatever. But there's not a lot of words to work with anyway. There's not a lot. You want to do a lot in a short time. And for me, the way I learned about that art is just by learning other people's songs, by seeing other people do it, and think, wow, how did he do that? Jonathan Bird, who I use as an example, he'll have these songs that are like 200 words and 3 minutes long, and introduce characters and tell us about them and make us feel about these people, that we've never even met, and maybe even break your heart about the story, or make you feel like, wow, this story is just like life. It's an art to do that in a short space, and there's so many people who've been really great at that art that came before, and who are, and also are out there right now doing it. And so, the way I've learned is just by learning the songs of people who came before, and learning the songs of my contemporaries, other people who are out touring, songs that I admire. I learn them and just think, how does this song work, right? And by learning it, you get to see inside how it's working. And similarly, making a living in music, when I started to book gigs, I just looked at, okay, here's a guy that I admire who's a bit more established than me. How are they doing it, right? Where did they play when they went to Vancouver? So maybe I could try to play there when I go to Vancouver. Just looking at other people, seeing how they do what they do, and trying to emulate them, trying to follow after them, has been how I learned everything that I've learned. And even now, I'm a big music fan, right? So if I go to a festival, I just want to see other people playing, because everybody's bringing something unique and special and interesting, and everybody has something that I can learn from in what they're doing. And same goes for nowadays. The music business is always changing. There's always different ways to approach this. People are reinventing, how to make a living in music, and I'm always just watching what people are doing, and seeing if there's something for me in that.
I can't see a thing. We got.
You gotta put the
visor back up. I gotta start wearing other hats. See, the hat does change things.
See how you can see it?
Glasses would be the next step. Then I gotta actually see people out there. Anybody else have a question they want to ask Scott Cook? We've got hands up over there. Who's got their hand up here? I can't even see. Okay, can we get a microphone over here?
Oh yeah, there's one, and then there's one in
hand
front
up nice and high so we can see. We'll get a microphone to you.
Okay, hi, my name is Monica, and I am from Guatemala. Thank you for that performance. I guess this is what a really good artist does, like to make you feel the emotion, the inspiration, and I can see how creative you are, so thanks for the performance.
Thank you, Monica.
And my question is, like, what are the challenges you face when you went on a tour? For example, I mean, you mentioned the money, of course, that's really important. But let's say the challenges that you see back then and make you feel like you grow up as an artist, like something really, really important. What are those challenges you face?
Well, gosh, there's a lot of logistics involved in this work. There's a lot of details, you know. So putting a tour together, getting people who will let you play at their venue or whatever, then getting them in an order that makes sense, so you don't have to drive here and drive there, you know, doing all that, figuring out where you're going, how to get there, where you're going to stay. All those things are challenges. In the early days, at least I had a van that I could sleep in. So this was something that I always knew I had a place to sleep. But when I'm traveling around with a backpack, you know, and especially in the early days, I slept on a lot of people's couches or floors or whatever. And you know, these are the challenges, right? Or maybe you book the show and, you know, nobody shows up, or you get there and it's not like you were promised or whatever. There's all these kind of setbacks. I find it still challenging. Nowadays, it's challenging because I've got other people that I'm playing with, so I need to book flights for them, or I'm working in several different currencies in different countries. I've got to keep accounts of that for taxes. I need to know when to charge tax or not charge tax. I've got spreadsheets, like Microsoft Excel documents, you know.
And the fact that you do all this yourself is just another level of commitment, you know.
It's challenging.
Doing all your own bookings, arranging all your own tours, your accounting, your spreadsheets, all of that. Most people would be looking to outsource that post haste and focus on the art and the performance aspects, but you do it all. You take care of everything.
At times I have had people that work with me, and I've tried to have assistants and stuff, and I still think it's worthwhile, but it's difficult to train someone to do what all the stuff you need to do, because sometimes it's quite involved and detailed. But I would say the biggest challenges, I think, in life, in anything, if you have a dream, the biggest challenges are going to be the ones that you create for yourself. You know, that's been my experience. Not believing in myself, you know, being afraid on stage, being afraid to, in writing a song, being afraid to say the thing that I really want to say. And also in life, you know, not thinking that you're worthy. And self-destructive habits, you know, especially in the early years. I drank a lot and you know, sabotaged myself. I wasn't kind enough to myself. I wasn't good enough to myself. Maybe because I didn't think I was worthy, or for whatever reason. But I think with anything, you know, if the biggest challenges are the biggest problems are the ones that you create for yourself.
Just on the drinking aspect of it, you know, if you're a performing musician anywhere, you're surrounded by alcohol. You're in the nightlife. A lot of times, part of your compensation package is free drinks. You know, you get your bienfait, maybe it's a mafé, whatever, for your expense, maybe, and then you get like a meal sometimes, and you get drinks, free drinks. So you're kind of the mental calculus is sometimes, well, I should drink these drinks because I'm working for them, and it's part of my pay package. You know what I mean? It's not like you leave money on the table and walk away. So, and then your friends haven't seen you in a long time, and your friends want to drink with you after the show, and you want to hang out, and then there's an after party and stuff. So it's easy to get caught up in that. Which leads me to something else I just add. Scott didn't mention it, but one of the challenges that I'm sure you can imagine, playing this kind of music that Scott creates, these songs, these thoughtful songs with lots of words in them, quieter songs, trying to play these in rooms of loud drunks when everybody's drunk and they're all there with their good time buddies and everybody's loud and they're not necessarily paying attention to you, and trying to cut through that noise, all that static with songs that could touch everybody's heart if they let it. But a lot of times you don't get to pick your audience. This is the nice thing about a room like this. everybody's here listening, everybody's focused, and what a nice thing so you can appreciate it as much as I. It's lovely. It's not always like this by a long stretch. You got the good old boys. It just, you know what I mean? I'll just, without talking too much, rooms full of loud drunks. It's a tough audience sometimes when they're not giving your songs the attention that they deserve. They're not giving you the time of day. That's a challenge. It's got to be.
Yeah, big time. Especially when I began, that happened all the time.
But now you've got enough of a reputation and a name that people come out to hear you specifically to listen, which is just shows you paid your dues.
And even if they're a small crowd, I would rather play for 20 people who are really there to listen than 200 people who are just there to get drunk.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
There was one hand there, yeah.
So my question is, since you travel a lot, how has touring shaped your songwriting? Because I think the lyrics are really genius. And I just want to ask, how has touring shaped that skill, songwriting?
Oh yeah, thank you. That's a great question. I said something earlier about like particular details, when you're grounding a song in your own experience in a very particular way. And I think that's important. But there's also this thing, which is when you're traveling around and you're singing for different people, you start to have, all the people that you know in the world kind of become part of the choir in your head. You know what I mean? The chorus in your head. Do you understand what I mean? You internalize everybody else's voices, right? So when I'm writing, I'm kind of thinking of my audience. And that basically is like my friends. I'm thinking of my friends. How will this land with them, right? What will these words mean to them, right? Because it doesn't matter what it means to me. It matters what it means to the audience, right? And so I think the more that I've traveled and gotten to know people with different kind of ways of thinking, different ways of living, all that, it's broadened my own idea of what life can be, and it informs my idea of like where these words might land, or what these words might mean. I want to write in a language that has space for everybody in it. You know what I mean? So that the idea of who everybody is very much informed by traveling around, meeting different people, and hearing their stories, and getting a feel for their way of life.
We out of hands. All questions been asked and answered here.
Here.
Okay, let's go.
Your song is so great, and your voice touched my heart. And I want to ask, will you add some rock style or build a band in the future?
You ever gonna rock out, Scott Cook? That's the question people have been really wanting to ask. You ever gonna really rock? Yeah, he rocks out.
I did a lot of rock.
Yeah, you did. He does the reggae.
I might do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah, I might do it again. I played with a band. Just now I was in Australia playing with a 4-piece band. Not a rock band, a string band. So upright bass, fiddle, dobro.
Long Weekends. You had the Long Weekends project.
Yeah, that was more of a rock band.
Enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with different songs in different material, different time of life. I like different things, but I would love to make dance music again sometime, just because that's a different joy, sharing songs and being understood and having this communication on the level of words is its own joy, and sharing music just in the sense of something that we're dancing to, we're just grooving to it together. That's a different joy, and I miss that a bit. So maybe. Hey, it's my seat
Hello.
neighbor from before.
I enjoy your music today. Thanks for sharing your stories and music. And I'm quite amazed with the stories that you share with us today. And I feel that you are the one who can make your life full with your music. So I want to know about how you interpret the meaning of what you are doing for your life with music. How you interpret the meaning that brings you, the meaning.
The meaning of what?
Interpretation of the meaning of storytelling or music.
Really interpret the meaning of your.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but in a way, I feel like when you're writing songs, you're kind of trying to get at the meaning of life a little bit, right? Don't you think?
We have different approaches to song. You know, this is, for me, this is fascinating to hear Scott talk about because we don't talk about this so much. We talk about stuff and the hours fly by, but I don't ask these questions to him. So this is fascinating for me to hear you talk about this. And I'm just looking at the two set lists here and just listening to the way you talk about music. For me, music is catharsis. It's getting emotions out. I'm looking at my set list, and some of this stuff is just about life, wanting to move away from Taipei and move down here. And I wrote that song in the Philippines, and I was missing my wife at the time. That one, a couple of these songs are about dreams. Often I'll have a dream, and if I remember the dream, I wake up and I write down fragments of the dream, and that becomes the kernel of a story, and I build it around that. So there's dreams on there. And then other stuff is just emotion. It's getting emotions out for me. That's why I write songs. I don't think how people are going to interpret this song. I mean, there's certain songs I won't sing for certain audiences. There's certain songs I've written that I won't sing for anybody because I don't want anybody to hear them, but I had to get them out. I had to get that feeling out. And I write more that way. It's relief. It's emotional relief for me. It's getting emotions out. And then I can function somewhat normally in daily life with those emotions purged. Sometimes it's dreams. Sometimes it's life. Sometimes it's situations I see in the world, but very different. I write songs for me entirely, and I never consider how they're going to be perceived or how people might react to them. So it's very interesting. There's so many ways to go at writing a song or performing. Styles are so different, you know. But it's very interesting for me to hear you talk about the way you go at it. It doesn't surprise me at all. You know, when you're hearing these things from you, it all makes sense. It's just like puzzle pieces fitting in here. It's like, okay, I get it.
I mean,
but it's very, very different approaches to music, writing songs, and the end result, the product is different too. And I had that thought that it's kind of like if you go to a festival or whatever, you can eat a taco, or you can eat like, I don't know, something better. I don't know, a nice tao fan or something. You know what I mean? But it's like not everybody's serving the same thing musically. Even people that write songs and perform songs, we're all serving different flavors of food. You know what I mean? And some flavors are going to appeal maybe more to certain people than others. But the product is different because the process is different. How the food's put together is different.
I think even when people, I mean, there are a lot of artists I think who write exclusively for themselves, but it still touches people because it touches them. You know, you hear somebody singing about their own pain or their own whatever, their own feeling, what they went through. If you can relate to it, then it's, you know, it makes that connection. But it's a good point that Jason makes, which is that we all come at this from different angles, and for me, very much, I'm imagining. A lot of times when I'm writing, I'm imagining a group of my friends, you know, as the audience, and a lot of times what I'm trying to do is interpret life in the sense of like. I mean, before I was a songwriter, philosophy was my field. You know, I went to university for philosophy. I finished a degree in philosophy. So a lot of my songs are kind of getting at what is life about, you know, through the lens of a story, through details. But the gist of it is trying to interpret life.
Read the book. Read the book. It's in there.
That's why you titled your book Tangle of Souls.
Because this whole world is a big tangle of souls. Yeah. Yeah. One more question, maybe? This guy's got to pee. Everybody must have to pee.
Yeah, we're...
Yeah, my question is, why folk music? Because, I mean, you got a great guitar skills. Like, you could be a great classical music player, and you also got a warm vocals. Could be like jazz singer or something. And why choosing folks that is almost guaranteed to be, no offense, not wealthy?
Why have you embraced poverty, Scott Cook?
Because I want to be poor. Yeah, no, that's very true.
Not economically viable.
I mean, it is a niche. I guess. I mean, with anything, I think it's what draws your interest. You know, that's the songs that touch me most are the ones that tell stories, and the artists that I admire the most, like my favorite artists, are not famous. So I don't expect I will become famous myself either. You know, the stuff that really appeals to me doesn't appeal to everybody. You know, something simple and maybe, you know, more. I mean, it's just like food, right? Like, you know, Coca-Cola is the most popular beverage in the world, right? Probably. No, I mean, tea is actually the most popular beverage.
I think it's beer, but personally. just you know, my personal experiences, people I know, I'd say beer.
As far as drinks in a can, I mean, Coca-Cola is very popular. It doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's the best thing, you know? And the same goes for what, you know, what is the most popular TV show? What are the most popular books? They're probably not the ones that I'm interested in, you know? So, and same goes for music. So in that sense, yeah, I guess in a way it's nice because I never expect to be famous. And so I feel always pleasantly surprised. Like right now, I'm in this nice theater, being interviewed, you know, answering questions for you guys. This is, to me, this already feels like very beyond my expectations. You know what I mean?
You should come to Donghua University more often here. We'll exceed your expectations again. Next time we get you back here.
All take pictures together. So just sit where you are. 坐在你的位置上. If you have a chance to go to the K-pop concert, you probably notice the K-pop idols will just take pictures with their audience. Just do this.
K-pop
so
music,
if you have this, hold it.
Into K-pop.
Okay. 前面这边还有几张，请那个工作人员给后面的同学。So 那个灯后面的灯可以打开，灯可以打开，谢谢。We will take pictures together. 那谢谢老师过来，可以等一下呢，可以继续跟老师们交流，然后可以给他们的索取签名。Let's try you guys on the stage first, and then we will try several pictures. And we have a professional
photographer. I feel famous right now.
Yes. 如果你没有拿到，这边还有。
People watching this in Japan right now.
Yes.
All over the map. Yeah. All over the place. Okay. More.
One with the thumbs out here. All right, thank you. We want to thank all you for coming out here and spending this afternoon with us. It just wouldn't be the same without nice people to talk to and sing songs for us. So we're happy you're all here. Even if I forced you, it still counts. Yeah. I told you. Yeah. Was I not talking about this guy for weeks in classes? Yeah. And I told you, come in here, and I guarantee you're gonna leave in feeling better than you did when you come in here. You cannot listen to this man sing a set of his songs and not feel better about life. I believe that. I think his music is medicine. It is for me. It's healing, and it's a positive energy that you put out into the world with your voice and your instruments and your thoughts, brother. And that's what you bring. That's what you brought to show phone today. So let's give Scott Cook a round of applause here. Let's give welcome. Gratitude here. And again, the people who ask questions here, we're gonna give away the stuff now. So you can come down in a nice orderly fashion if you asked a question, and we'll give you something nice off the table there.
如果要签名的话，我有准备签名笔，所以你们可以就是过来跟那个老师们一起。
They'll write you a check. No. I'll bounce you a check.
All right, so sign something. All right, so let's what should we do? Stuff down front. I do want to take pictures. So what are we doing now? We're giving away some stuff, huh?
Now you can take some pictures, and also 刚刚有问问题的 you also can get your gift. 刚刚有问问题的同学，我们都有记的。好，直播可以关掉。
You gave it back. Oh, that's thoughtful.